It was in the morning. You sighed loudly, pacing back and forth outside your best friend's house. Young, pick up the call. We have a test today. You yelled at your phone. It was your fifth call, but still no response. With a frustrated sigh, you walked inside. As you entered his home main door, his mother greeted you with a smile. Good morning, Juan. You are here. Early? Auntie, where is Theong? He's not picking up. She shook her head gently. He's still sleeping, dear. He came home late last night. Your jaw clenched. Still sleeping? The test is today. Without wasting a second, you ran up to his room. You opened the door and saw him sprawled across the bed like a starfish, blanket barely covering him, mouth wide open, snoring like a lion. You stared in disbelief. Seriously? Sleeping like a baby when we have got a whole war waiting at college? You walked over and shook him. Theong, wake up. Nothing, not even a groan. You sighed. Fine. You asked for it. You went to the bathroom, filled a bucket with cold water, came back and what the wine? Are you out of your mind? You stood with your arms crossed. Yes, because my so-called best friend is trying to fail both of us. Young sat up soaked, blinking. You really threw water on me? You hit him lightly on the head. Yes, I did. We have an important test today and you're sleeping like a sloth. He groaned and lay back. I'm not going. I don't feel like giving it. What's the point? You grabbed his blanket. I'll come to the pub with you tonight. Kyung suddenly sat up. Wait, what? If you come to college and give the test, I'll go to the pub with you tonight. Deal? He looked at you like he had seen a ghost. You, one? Miss, I love coffee dates and beach sunsets. You will come to pub. You smirked, only for today because someone is begging for 2 years. Deal. He jumped up with excitement. 10 minutes and I'm ready. You laughed. You never wake up this fast, even if I say BTS is outside. He rushed to the bathroom and in no time came back dressed in a stylish white shirt and black jeans, running his fingers through his wet hair. Let's go party girl, he said grinning. As they both walked down, his mom called out, want you to have breakfast? We'll grab something from the college canteen after the test. You answered. Theon grabbed the car keys and you both got into his silver convertible. He sat down and pulled out your notebook. Alright, these are the important topics. Pay attention. He nodded like a school kid. Yes, ma'am. As you drove through the morning roads, you explained all the short answers and formulas. You should seriously try studying regularly, you said, annoyed. Then we won't need last minute miracles. But I have you, he grinned. You rolled your eyes. Flattering won't get you marks. Focus. He leaned a little closer. I'm focusing on your voice. You slapped his arms playfully. Theon, read the third answer. He laughed and read it quickly. Despite being lazy, he was a fast learner. You knew your preparation would help him pass like every other time. You blinked and turned. Thanks for being here, he said softly. You gave a small fake smile. Let's finish the test first. After your morning wake up mission and last minute notes, you and Theong finally reached the college just in time. The test was tough, but with your help, Theong managed to answer most of the questions. I think I passed, Theong said, stretching his arms as they both walked towards the canteen. You gave him a proud smile. Of course you did. You had the best teacher beside you. Yeah, yeah. He laughed. No, I need food. My brain is tired. You both went to the counter and ordered fried chicken and corn dogs, Theong's favorite. You grabbed two plates and found a spot near the window. Sitting down, Theong took a big bite of chicken. This is a real reward. Who cares about test results now? You loved picking up your corn dog. It was easy for you because I helped, admit it. Okay, okay, fine, I admit. He raised his hand in surrender. You saved me again, smarty pants. You smiled and started unwrapping the corn dog but paused suddenly. Wait, I forget to get sauce. Go quickly, I got the food. Tom said, already chewing like a little kid. You got up with a chuckle, still speaking to Theong over your shoulder. Don't eat mine today. Just as you turned to head to the sauce counter, you bumped into someone. You heard a clatter and a hot splash. Aish. The voice hissed sharply. You looked up and gasped. The guy's white overcoat now had soup stains on it dripping down the front. It was him, Jungkook. The new guy who transferred last week, all distant and mysterious. No one in the college dared to talk to him. He was always alone, sitting in corners, eyes sharp and unreadable. You quickly bowed slightly. Sorry, I didn't see you coming. He didn't say anything at first. He just stared at you with a cold look, then glanced down at his coat. Sorry, won't claim this, he said coldly. Your face turned red. You were embarrassed and nervous. Jungkook placed his plate on a nearby table, pulled off his stained overcoat and held it out to you. Wash it, bring it tomorrow, don't forget, he said flatly, dropping the coat into your hands. You were stunned. What? I? Before you could even respond, Taeyang was already beside you. He had seen everything. Yeah, why would she wash your shirt? He said sharply, grabbing the coat and putting it back into Jungkook's hand. You better do it yourself. Jungkook raised an eyebrow and looked at Pyong with no fear. If not her, you can do it. I have no problem either way. What did you just say? Pyong's voice rose and he grabbed Jungkook's collar. Students around started whispering. A few even stood to watch. Jungkook didn't flinch. His tone was slow and dangerous. If I grab your collar next time, you won't be alive to wear the shirt again. Your eyes widened in fear. Theong, stop! You cried and rushed between them, pushing Theong back. Please don't do this, not because of me, but when he. I said, stop. You looked at Theong firmly. It was my mistake, I'll correct it. You turned to Jungkook and nodded. I'll wash it. You will get it back tomorrow. Jungkook gave a small nod. That's good. He glanced at Theong, then smirked slightly. And tell your best friend to calm down. Take a chill pill, bro. He patted Theong's shoulder and walked away coolly back to his lonely corner seat. Theong clenched his fist. Why did you stop me? Did you see the way he acted? He looked at him softly. I know, but I don't want you to get into fights, especially not because of me. It's just a shirt there. Let it go. Theong looked frustrated but finally nodded. Fine, only because you said so. Good. Now come on. I'm starving, you said with a tired sigh. You went back to your seat, grabbed the sauce packet, and began eating. You're seriously going to wash the jacket? Theong asked between bites. Yeah, I bumped into him, my mistake, and he's new. Maybe he is just different. Different? He acts like he's king of the world. Theong muttered. You giggle. You're just mad. Someone dare to talk back to you? Theong huffed. He's lucky I didn't punch him. You smiled and munched your corn dog. You tried to brush it off like it was nothing, but deep inside you were shaken by the intensity in Jungkook's voice and also confused by something else. From the far corner of the canteen, Jungkook sat alone. His eyes were on his phone, pretending to scold, but secretly he looked up at you. A small, soft smile curled on his lips just for a second. But when someone looked his way, he quickly dropped it and went back to being the cold, untouchable guy. No one saw it, no one noticed except maybe you. In the evening, you stood in front of the mirror, adjusting your simple black party dress. It wasn't too short, not too fancy, just enough for a casual night out. You applied a little gloss, fixed your hair, and stared. This isn't me, you whispered under your breath. Still, you had promised Pyong. He helped you all these years, and today you helped him pass. He begged for this night out for 2 years, so this just once you agreed. At the pub, the loud music hit your ears like a wave. Lights flashed in different colors, people danced like they had no care in the world, and the smell of alcohol filled the air. Tang in his white shirt and black jeans looked thrilled. Wine, you actually came? He shouted through the music, grabbing your hand. This is going to be fun. You gave a small smile and nodded. Tang dragged you towards the bar. Two whiskeys, please, he told the bartender. Your eyes widened. Wait, not for me. What? He asked, confused. I'll just have juice, you said softly. He sighed. Come on, wine. Just one drink. No, Tay, please. Pyong rolled his eyes. Fine, one whiskey and one orange juice. You both walked to the table nearby. You sat there stiffly, feeling like a cactus in a garden of roses. Pyong kept looking at the dance floor, his foot tapping to the beat. Let's dance, he asked excitedly. No thanks, you replied quickly. He frowned. Okay, maybe later. A few minutes passed. He asked again. Now? You shook your head. No, Tay. I don't feel like it. His mood began to change. His smile faded. For this you came with me? He asked, clearly irritated. You should have stayed home if you were going to sit like a stone. Such a boring girl you are, Vile. His words hit you like a slap. You looked down, silent. It hurts. Just then a beautiful girl walked over to your table. She had long curly hair, red lipstick, and a confident smile. Hi, she said, looking at Pyong. What's your name? Pyong sat up straight. I'm Pyong, and you? I'm Veronica, she said with a wink. I like that name, he replied, smiling widely. Sounds bold. Shall we dance? She asked him. Of course, he said without hesitation. He stood up and walked away with her, completely forgetting about you. You sat there alone. The orange juice in front of you was untouched. You didn't know anyone. The music felt louder now, the lights brighter, the people strangers. Until the one person you trusted was dancing with someone else, laughing, smiling, holding her like he forgot you even existed. You felt something inside your chest twist painfully. You waited, hoped he would look back, come back, but he didn't. Your breath grew heavier, you felt suffocated. You stood up quickly and walked out of the pub. The cool night air hit your face as you tried to calm yourself. You hated this place, you hated how you felt. Just then a guy near the entrance called you. Hey miss, can you do me a favor? Can you give this phone to my friend? He's outside, black shirt, standing near the tree. You nodded silently and walked towards the guy. You tapped his shoulder. Excuse me, your friend gave. The guy turned around. Your words stopped in your throat. It was Jungkook, your new classmate, the cold, silent guy everyone avoided. He looked at you and said, What? You blinked. Your friend gave this phone to you. He took it from your hand. Thanks. Then he raised an eyebrow. Toppers come to pubs. You smiled faintly. Introverts come to pubs. He let out a small chuckle. For the first time, you saw him smile. It was soft, real, and for some reason beautiful. I didn't know you could smile, you said, teasing a little. He quickly returned to his usual cold expression. I don't do it much, you giggled. Then I'll stop teasing, sorry. He stared at you for a moment. Thanks for the phone. So, what are you doing here? You sighed. Came for my best friend. He really wanted to party, but I don't like this kind of place. I don't like it either, Jungkook said simply. You looked at him surprised. Really? Our tastes match, he smirked. Your eyebrow rose. Wow, John Jungkook joking. I must be dreaming. He gave a small smirk again. Just the pup thing, don't get carried away. You smiled. Fine. He looked across the road. There's a cafe right there. Want to sit and talk? You turned and saw the cute little cafe with fairy lights hanging around. Okay, you nodded. You both walked across and entered the cafe. It was peaceful and warm, a huge contrast to the loud pub. You both sat at a corner table and ordered hot chocolate. To your surprise, talking to Jungkook was easy. He wasn't cold at all now. He spoke calmly, asked about your favorite subjects, your dream job, your dog, your hobbies. And you asked him too. He said he was still adjusting to the new school. He missed his hometown. He had a younger sister. It had been an hour already, and you hadn't even realized. Then from the cafe window you saw Theon coming out of the pub. He was with Veronica. He opened his car door, made her sit inside, then walked to the driver's seat and got in. You stared, shocked. You quickly took out your phone and called him. He answered. Where are you? You asked. I'm leaving, Theon said casually. Go home in a cab, okay? Your mouth opened, but no words came out. He cut the call. You stayed at your screen. He left you for her. You came to the place you hated, for him, just for him, and he left you like it meant nothing. Your eyes burned, but you blinked past. Jungkook noticed your silence, but before he said anything, his friend came into the cafe. Bro, can we leave now? The guy asked Jungkook. Jungkook nodded. Yeah, but take the cab. I'll book it. He opened his phone and booked the cab. The guy left. Then Jungkook looked at you. I'll drop you home. You were surprised because your best friend left you for someone, but Jungkook left his best friend for you. It was quite shocking. But why? You quickly shook your head. No, I'll manage. But Jungkook stood up and held your hand gently. I said I will drop you, he repeated. You were too tired to argue. You followed him quietly to his car. The car ride was silent. You stayed out the window. Your thoughts were all over the place. Theon's words, his laughter with Veronica, the way he left you alone. Jungkook looked at you a few times but didn't say anything. Then he spoke. Want to hear a joke? You looked at him. What's brown and sticky? He asked. You blinked. What? A stick. You couldn't help it. You gave a small laugh. He smiled softly. Finally, you raised your house. As you opened the door, Jungkook said, Don't forget the shirt. You turned back and nodded. I won't, and thanks, Jungkook, for everything. He gave a small nod. Good night, Wine. Good night. You went inside your house. And for the first time, you weren't thinking about Theon. You were thinking about the guy with cold eyes and warm heart. Next morning at school, you sat in your classroom staring at your half-done assignment. The class was noisy as always. You glanced at Theon, who sat beside you, smiling at his phone screen. Are you done with the assignment? You asked softly. He looked up, slightly annoyed. Nope. I was talking to Veronica. She's messaging non-stop, he said, smiling again at his phone. You blinked, but it's due by afternoon, remember? Young stood up. Yeah, I know you're good at it, right? Can you do mine too, please? You frowned. Where are you going? To meet Veronica, he replied casually. Her school is nearby our school. You stared at him, but the assignment, please, Van, you're a lifesaver, he said, already walking away. And just like that, he was gone. You looked down at both your and his assignment books. Your side hurt. You didn't have any romantic feelings for Theong, never did. But he was your best friend, and he was slowly drifting away like you didn't matter anymore. Still, you picked up your pen and began writing. 1 hour later, a soft voice interrupted your thoughts. Can I sit here? You looked up and saw Jungkook standing beside your desk, holding two juice cartons. You gave a small nod. He sat down and placed one juice in front of you. You looked at it, surprised. What's this for? He shrugged slightly. Your writing two assignments looked like hard work. I thought I should at least get you juice as a friend. You smiled softly at him. Thank you, Jungkook. You reached into your bag and handed him his clean shirt folded neatly. Here is your shirt, you said. Thanks, he said and placed it gently on his back. Then he looked at you quietly for a second. So, friends? You hesitated, you thought about Theo. He hated Jungkook, called him his enemy. Before you could answer, Jungkook noticed your silence. His smile faded. It's okay, I get it, he said and stood up. I'm leaving. Jungkook, you started, but he had already walked away. You sat there quietly, feeling torn. Since that day, everything slowly began to change between you and Theong. Theong started ignoring your calls. He didn't wait for you in the corridors anymore, didn't walk you to the canteen. He was always either on call with Veronica or messaging her. You were no longer part of his world. But Jungkook, he noticed your silence, your sadness, your efforts. He always greeted you when he saw you, brought you your favorite snacks in class without asking, shared notes, helped carry your books, even waited outside when your classes ran late. That night was your birthday. You sat on your bed, holding your phone, waiting. It was 11:59 p.m. You stared at Jung's chart, no message. Then it was 12 a.m. Your screen lit up. You quickly grabbed the phone. It was a call from Jungkook. You answered it. Happy birthday, Wine, his deep, soft voice said. Your lips curved into a small smile. You remembered. Of course, he said. It's your day. Thanks. You whispered again. There was a pause, then he said gently, You look beautiful if you're happy, so please for me be happy, okay? Your heart melted, you didn't know why, but tears formed in your eyes. Okay, you said softly. He chuckled. Good. Now sleep with a smile, and happy birthday again. Thank you, Jungkook. You said again, meeting it from your heart. The call ended, but seconds later your phone rang again, Theong. You answered, thinking maybe, just maybe, he remembered about your birthday. Hey, Wine, he said excitedly. Veronica proposed to me today, he said happily. We are officially together. Your lips parted, your heart froze. He didn't even wish you. Oh, congratulations, you said, forcing a smile through your voice. I need your help, he continued. What should I gift her tomorrow? I want it to be special. You blinked back tears. Maybe a bracelet. Cool idea, thanks. You're the best, he said then. He hung up. You stared at your screen blankly. He didn't remember, not even a simple happy birthday. Tears fell down your cheeks. You hugged your pillow, crying quietly for the friendship you lost, for the place you no longer had in his life. Just then your phone pinged a message. You promised to smile, not to cry. Remember? You stared at it. How did he know? Maybe he just did. You wiped your tears, then smiled softly. He was there when Theon forgot you even existed. Jungkook remembered everything, even your smile, and somehow that made the pain easier to carry. Next morning, you entered your classroom quietly. Your heart was still heavy from last night, but you managed to smile a little. You walked to your usual seat and placed your bag down. Then Jungkook entered, holding something behind his back. He walked over and sat beside you. Good morning, he said with a soft smile. Morning, you replied. He then pulled out a small cake box and placed it on your desk. Your eyes widened. What's this? He grinned. Can't I celebrate the birthday of my friend who I admire? Your heart warmed. Jungkook, thank you, but no buts, he said, handing you a plastic spoon. Cut it. Even if it's a day late, you deserve to feel special. Tears started forming in your eyes. Hey, don't cry now, he said gently, his voice soft like a feather. You smiled through the tears. Okay, you made a wish in your heart. I wish I never lose people who truly care for me. Then you cut the little cake while Jungkook clapped quietly beside you. After that, he handed you a small gift wrapped in pretty pastel paper. You looked at him surprised again. What's this? Open it, he said with a little smile, his eyes filled with curiosity. You unwrapped it slowly and gasped. It was a silver charm bracelet, the exact kind of ones told your old friends you would love to get from someone special one day. How did you know? You asked, blinking. He looked at you calmly. You talk a lot when you're sleepy during library hours. I just listened. You chuckled in shock and smiled, placing your hand on your heart. Thank you, Jungkook. Really. That whole day, Jungkook stayed beside you, helping you in class, walking with you to the canteen, sharing his notes. You laughed, talked, and for the first time in weeks, you didn't think about Theon. You didn't feel lonely. Jungkook filled that space with warmth. Days passed, and slowly you realized who your true friend was. Young stopped calling. He didn't care when you were feeling sick and stayed home, but Jungkook came to your house with your homework, soup, and a packet of your favorite candies. One afternoon, you and Jungkook were sitting side by side in the classroom solving a tricky logic in your data structures assignment. Wait, Jungkook said, is it a stack or a queue in this case? You giggled. Stack, obviously. LIFO, last in first out. Oh, he said, nodding like a child. No wonder I was confused. Suddenly, the classroom door opened loudly. Theong entered. It had been 2 weeks. He walked towards you both and narrowed his eyes at Jungkook. Why are you sitting here? He asked coldly. And why is she talking to you? Then he looked at you. One, tell him to get up. I'm your best friend. I will sit here. Jungkook stood up slowly to avoid drama, but before he could leave, you grabbed his wrist gently. Jungkook, sit here, you said firmly. Kyung stared at you shocked. What? We're best friends. We always sit together. You scoffed and looked at him in the eye. Best friends? Now you remember I exist. Man, he started. No, do you remember my birthday? Do you remember how many calls I made? How I felt sick and stayed alone? You didn't even ask if I was okay, and suddenly I'm your best friend. Your face dropped, the class turned white. I'm sorry, he whispered. It's too late, John, you said, your voice low but steady. I found someone who was there for me when you weren't. I found a real friend. That friend is Jungkook. You smiled at Jungkook and held his hand tightly this time. Jungkook looked surprised and touched. The last time he offered his hand, you hesitated, but now you proudly called him your friend. And what about Veronica? You asked now. She left you, didn't she? Young stayed silent. You sighed. She left you, and now you suddenly remember me? I'm really sorry, he said again, but you looked away. I have a lot of work, Pyong. Please leave me alone for now. Without another word, Pyong walked away quietly, looking defeated. The class remained silent for a while. You sat back slowly in your chair, your hands trembled slightly, and your eyes welled up. Jungkook noticed it. He gently wiped the tear rolling down your cheek with his thumb. I'm proud of you, he said softly. You stood for yourself today. You should celebrate that. You gave a weak smile. It hurt, though. I know, he said, but people who ignore us for someone else don't deserve us. You deserve better. You nodded quietly. Then Jungkook's side hugged you warm and soft. I like your wine, he whispered near your ear. Your heart skipped a beat. You looked at him and smiled slightly, then without saying a word, you rested your head gently on his shoulder. And in that silence, your heart felt safe. Thank you for watching.